Extreme Steam Team.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining the Extreme Steam Team. We have a very special guest today. This is my good friend Leslie. Say hi, Leslie. Woo-hoo! She's an orangutan from Borneo. Leslie, what type of forest do you live in? Woo-hoo! A rainforest. Leslie always gets excited when she talks about the rainforest. Leslie, today we're going to learn about a different type of forest. Woo! There are different types of forests. Isn't that cool? And some of them actually need fire to thrive. We're going to talk to George Risco from the Florida Forest Service, and he's going to tell us all about the forests in Florida. Let's go to the dish with Petrie to see what they learned.
Hello, kids! Welcome to my show! This is The Dish with Petrie, and I'm your host, Petrie! Yay! Alright. Today, we will be having a special guest coming to us from somewhere nice and green. Let's check the Petrie scope right now. Beep, beep, boop.
Florida Forest Service. Hey, this isn't a phone call. Petrie, is that you?
Hey, Wang, it's Ranger George from the Florida Forest Service. Hello, Ranger George.
Hey, Petrie. Are we on the Petrie scope?
Yes, you are, and this is the show called The Dish, and I'm your host. Yay!
Nice. Hey, thank you for having me. This is awesome. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, we're going to have fun today because I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
All right, I'll be glad to help. What you got? What's up?
All right, so first off, I'm loving the beard.
Thank you. You as well, Petrie. And I'm glad I wore my uniform because I'm loving the bow tie. You are dressed to impress, my friend.
Yes, we are dapper, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So, what is it that you do over at the Florida Forest Fire Service?
Well, we are wildland firefighters, and we do a little bit of everything. I mean, we have all kinds of jobs, forest management, we've got recreation jobs, and my primary job is a wildland firefighter, and right now I actually do the training piece. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Wow, you're not just a regular firefighter, but you train forest firefighters.
Yes, we've got such a great team and such a great group of folks in the Florida Forest Service, and we just all pitch in and we do all kinds of different things, respond to all kinds of emergencies, and just like to help people.
Wow, so how long have you been a firefighter?
About 25 years. I know, right? I know. So what can I help you with today? What do you want to explore? What are you thinking?
All right, so how are you different from a regular firefighter? And when I mean by regular, it's like those firefighters in the cities.
Well, we get some of that structure training too, but we primarily focus on wildland. So we fight fire mostly in wildland environments. Our main tool that we use is actually a tractor plow unit, which is a bulldozer. And we do that. And we also do a lot of prescribed fire, which you might have heard it called prescribed burning or controlled burns. We do a lot of that to manage the forest as well.
Tell us more about prescribed fire or prescribed burns or controlled fires. Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot, but basically we use them in the forest to help reduce the fuel load and keep the forest healthy. And a lot of people may not know this, but forests are fire dependent, right? So it has to have fire in the forest to help it grow. Pine cones have the little seeds, the fire helps them, escape, and they become little pine trees to big pine trees. Well, that used to happen all the time in Florida because lightning would cause the fires. And so what we do is the prescribed burning mimics the fire in a more controlled and safer environment, because we never play with fire. It has to be very controlled, and it's done by people that are trained and professional. We have a lot of specialized equipment, and that's what we do. And we do that to keep to keep Florida's forests healthy. That's why we do it. And it helps the risk of wildfire. It helps reduce that.
Wow. So you mentioned that you used bulldozers. Do
Yes.
you also use other equipment like planes and helicopters?
These are great questions. Yes, sir, we do. I mean, we've got fixed-wing aircraft, which are the airplanes, and then we have the rotorcraft, which are the helicopters. And those helicopters can not only be used to help us with buckets that are full of water that put it on the fire and help us, but they also can use it for prescribed burns. They have a machine they can put in the helicopter and help us do large acre prescribed burns quicker. We use trucks too. We use little trucks, little engines that have water on them. So we use just about everything.
So what are your nicknames? Are you like called smoke jumpers or something?
No, not too much down here. Most of our firefighters are forest rangers, but I know some smoke jumpers and I know some hot shots. They've got some pretty cool names. And we're forest rangers, senior forest rangers, foresters. We've got a little bit of everything here, but I don't know what exact nicknames we have per se here in Florida. Yeah.
So how long does it take for one to become a firefighter?
It can take a number of years. We've got a pretty aggressive training program, and it could take a while. You come in and do some of the basic classes and get more advanced classes, but it's a rewarding career to look at, because not only are you fighting fire, but you're helping the forest ecosystems, which in Florida, we have more state lands and forests than the entire size of the state of Rhode Island. It's kind of crazy, right? And so we try to manage that, and also we manage it for our friends. Now, I know that I've heard you get kind of excited when we talk about some of my friends, because I'm not alone out here in the forest. We've got some animals out here as well, and I know you like those. So
Yeah.
we try to keep it healthy for them. So that's what we do.
Wow, I did not know that fires help the forest and the animals too.
Absolutely. It helps them get the green, lush material after the burn, and the animals love to come out and eat it. And you've got deer and turkey. And one of my favorites, the gopher tortoise, he comes out and he likes being in the longleaf pine ecosystem and in the wiregrass, and they munch on all the fresh shoots and everything that are coming up. And it's just an amazing place to be. And you know what else, Petrie?
What?
You can come visit the state forests anytime you want.
Really? Wow.
Absolutely. If you like to ride bicycles, if you like to horseback ride, if you like to hike, we've got all kinds of activities on the state forest. And all you have to do is you can go to our website. People that watch your show, they can go to the Florida Forest Service website, and they can go there and they can see what forest you could do what on and how to get to the forest and come be our guest. And I would very much like it if you would come out and hike the trails with me.
Yes, I would love that.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Just to be on the safe side, how often do we get forest fires out there?
Well, forest fires are year-round in Florida. And so when I say that, I mean, because it's a conducive environment year-round, but we do get more active in the spring going into the summer, which is that time frame, we're kind of at right now. And then we have another uptick basically in the fall after a freeze, when everything freezes and everything gets cured and really dried out. But you can have fires down here year-round, so it just depends. Everything's based on the fire weather. That's what we're always looking at for not only fires, but those burns we talked about. Weather's real important.
Wow. So I know that we get a lot of rain here in Florida, but does that also help in preventing forest fires?
It does. It really does. It helps. But just sometimes folks need to remember, just because we got rain recently doesn't always mean that we are able to, that it's going to stay that wet. Because during the summer and the spring, when everything's growing, they're soaking up all that moisture, and we dry out really quickly. So the best thing to do is look for your weather alerts and listen when we put out daily weather forecasts, and just watch that and see if the day is conducive to burn or not. We don't even burn on days that are going to be really dangerous with high wind and low humidity and where it's too dry. So we always try to be very careful.
Wow, you really have a really cool job, even though it's hot out there.
Very good. You have a cool job too.
Oh, thank you.
I can't thank you enough for teaching the kids and everybody all about these things. This is great.
Yeah, it is. So, about the kids, what can they do to help prevent forest fires?
Well, it's great you asked that. Really, the biggest thing is not playing with fire because it is so dangerous. Just being alert, and if they see something, to let a parent or an adult know, and just be our friends. And when they visit the state forest, track light on the land. Leave. Just take memories with you. Don't destroy the forest, and just treat it like it's your own, because it is. Our state forests are for everybody that lives here, and we want to preserve them for future generations. So that's the big thing. But yeah, if they could help us with that and try to get our man-caused fires down to zero, that would help us a lot.
Wow. So it is true what Smokey Bear said. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Very good. Yes, sir. That is what he says. And he said to say hello to you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll have to see if we can send you one of the Smokey Bear hats that we have for your set, so you could have that. And we'll go from there. I'll see if I can find it, because he dresses real well too. He's got the hat and the jeans and everything like that. So we'll see if we can find you something Smokey and send it to you.
Wow, we really much appreciate that. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I learned a lot from you today. I learned how important it is to prevent forest fires, and sometimes how forest or controlled birds can help our forests grow and our animals thrive. Wow. And also that there are lots of cool places in the forest parks.
Yeah, Petrie, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about this stuff. And if anybody has any questions, please let us know. We're here to help and happy to talk to folks in the public.
Will do, Ranger George. Well, I hope to see you again soon and hear from you. And if the Forest Service needs its own mascot, well, I'm here. Like I said, I may not have Smokey Bear's hat, but I do have this cool bow tie.
Good to go, Petrie. Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye, Petrie. Bye.
All right, that was a fun-filled day with Ranger George. Now, before I make like a tree and leave, let's see what Chemistry Kim and Jurassic Jessica are up to. To the Petrie Scope. Beep, beep, boop.
Thank you, George and Petrie, for that excellent interview. Now, Chemistry Kim, I have a burning question for you.
What's that, Jurassic Jessica?
Can we go camping, please?
Of course we can go camping. But why do you want to go camping?
Because I want to make s'mores.
We don't have to go camping to make s'mores.
We don't? I thought we needed a campfire.
That's one way to make them, but we can make them at the library with a solar oven.
What's a solar oven?
A solar oven uses the light and heat that the sun gives off to cook food.
How does it do that?
Let's make one and I'll show you. You'll need a pizza box, aluminum foil, black paper, plastic wrap, tape, a marker, a ruler, and a craft knife. First, we're going to draw a rectangle on the top of our pizza box, and we're going to need an adult's help to cut it out with our craft knife. I've already done that here. Let me show you. So when you're done, it should look something like this. Okay, so next we're going to take one sheet of aluminum foil and we're going to wrap it around that square rectangle that we just cut out. Then I'm going to use tape to secure it. Now that we've done that, we're going to take our next sheet of aluminum foil and we're going to put it in the bottom of our pizza box. Now we're going to take our black piece of paper and tape it into the bottom of the box. This is important because the black paper acts like a heat sink. It absorbs not only the reflected light, but the direct sunlight as well. Alright, now our next step is to cover this opening here with plastic wrap.
To keep the bugs out?
Keeping bugs out is one good reason. The other is because the plastic wrap traps the heat inside like a greenhouse. Okay, I think that we are just about done. So now we can take our solar oven outside. Your solar oven will work best if it's sunny out and at least 85 degrees. Once you have your solar oven outside, you'll position the flap at about a 90-degree angle, and you're going to use a stick, or I have a ruler here, to hold it up. That way, the sun will reflect onto your tin foil. You might need some tape to secure it here, and it's gonna bounce inside where our plastic wrap will keep our s'mores nice and toasty. Speaking of s'mores, here's the really fun part. We get to assemble them.
I want to do that part. We're going to take 2 graham crackers and put a marshmallow and chocolate in between them.
That looks great. Now let's stick it in the solar oven.
Are they ready?
Not yet. We're going to take them outside, and depending on the temperature, it might take about 30 minutes for them to get all melty and delicious. But don't worry, I already have some made that I did with my solar oven earlier. Here they go.
These look delicious. The sun cooked these?
It sure did. There's lots of yummy recipes for food you can make in your solar oven, like nachos or even English muffin pizzas.
Yum! I can't wait till making more food. And now I can make s'mores anytime I want!
You s'more can! Thanks for being a part of the Extreme STEAM team. I hope everyone had as much fun as we did today. Up next, we have an amazing book talk.
Hey everyone, Mr. David here at the Forest Public Library in the Ocala National Forest with Check These Out! Oh wait, here is a tasty, melty, sweet, hot, gooey, delicious s'more straight out of our solar oven. Delicious. Can I have some more? Oh, wait, maybe that's how they got the name. No matter how many you have, you're always asking for s'more. This is so good, it could inspire poetry. Oh, actually, it has inspired poetry. Check this out! Toasting Marshmallows Camping Poems by Christine O'Connell George. We got poems here about all kinds of camping activities. In fact, I have a riddle for you. See if you can figure this out. Question: why does camping make people stressed? Answer: because it is intense! Speaking of stressful camping, check this out! In Pete the Cat Goes Camping by James Dean, Pete finds himself in some situations that are intense. This is one of our special books that has both tales and tales. That's because cats have tails, and tales also means stories. So So, we heard about forest fires from the ranger today, and check this out! We Will Live in This Forest Again by Jonna Marino shows how forest animals move in after a fire and make a home. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Animals are so cool. They help to rebuild the forest after a fire. Wow. And our last book today,
Check
this out. Who's Hiding in the Woods by Catherine McEwen has lots of fun flaps and fun facts about animals. So, check these out. Go to any Marion County library with your library card to find these books and many more about Tails and Tales. Signing off from the Ocala National Forest, I'm Mr. David. Bye. May I have some more s'mores, please?